After much anticipation, after many rumors, after false leaks and a whole lot of hope, we finally have our Pokemon Sword and Shield. We know what the games look like, we know who the starters are, and we know that they're coming sometime before the end of the year. But Gabe, this trailer, it still left us with tons of mysteries.
And Zach, that only makes sense because we saw some executives on screen for longer than we saw actual gameplay, and that's cool, I guess, because they have so much more time. The game isn't coming until late 2019. We have quite a while for them to give us all the information we want, but there are questions we have, and there are questions a lot of people are going to have as well. Hopefully we get to answer some of them here today.
Yeah, so we've identified 6 major mysteries that struck us after watching the very alluring montage-style trailer. If you guys are hyped for Pokemon Sword and Shield and the new evolution of this franchise, definitely hit that like button. Let us know in the comments down below which of these mysteries you are most interested to have answered. Get after it in the comments and solve it yourself. So the first one we are going to tackle today is, will we see any Pokemon in the wild? And beyond that, will there be any Pokemon following you, flying with you, roaming? That was such a cool aspect of Let's Go. Probably my favorite part of those games, in spite of how some viewed them as a step backwards. This being a major step forwards, have all the Pokemon gone into hiding?
Zach, I think they have gone into hiding, and somebody on Twitter, and I wish I could give credit to whoever said it. This isn't my original thought, but it makes so much sense. They said that, hey, there's like 800 Pokemon. Like, it's really hard to get like following animations for like all of them. So that is why we will not see them follow you around, you know, but this person, whoever it was, I think it was like Cartridge Games. They said like maybe like the starters would have been cool just to have them follow you around, just like Eevee and Pikachu did in Let's Go. That would have been awesome, but I am wondering, do we see any Pokemon in the wild at all? We saw that the battles are still random encounters. How is that going to work? Maybe like the legendary ones are going to be out in the wild? Something like that could be fun.
The fact that you could see the Pokemon in the field, you know, oh, there's a Butterfree over there. Oh, we've got a Tauros over there. That was one of my favorite changes in Let's Go, and something that we talked about back last year that we hoped that they would carry forward, and it looks like they haven't, which is to me a bit of a bummer. I fully understand the idea of 800, 900 Pokemon and getting them all in there. Maybe that's a little tricky, but at least buddy up the 3 starters, right? I guess the fact that they are going to evolve, maybe that just makes a mess of things, and given the expansion of the world, given how things now are going to be changed from how you interact and engage with moving through the Galar region, maybe it just wasn't possible, but it's interesting and kind of sad nonetheless, since that seemed like such an improvement, and I do wonder if maybe this trailer doesn't let on all that we will eventually see within the world, but as of now, Pokemon seem to be playing hide and go seek.
I'm going to say that we still see some type of Pokemon in the wild at some point. Again, whether it be just like some like super mysterious like legendary Pokemon or something, I think we see some pocket monster out there in the world at some point, yes.
Yeah, I just
fingers crossed.
I love the transition from totally random to you spot them and you see them and they run crazy, so I hope we get some of that. But let's move on to mystery number 2, which carries over a little bit from the random encounters we spotted for mystery 1, and that's, are there any changes to the battle system? Now, the perspective looks very similar. It seems like the turn-based style is fully intact, and honestly, we expected that. But are there going to be any movements for the actual mechanics of combat, or will it function exactly identical? Once they throw the full UI on screen, will this feel like every other Pokemon game, or have they made any addition or subtraction to the style in which we fight?
I really hope there's something different, and I'm not just talking about more Pokemon at once. We've seen, like, you know, tag team battles and stuff like that. I want to see more than that. I want to see maybe some strategic implementations more than there already are. Like, I get it, like if you're fighting against a fire type Pokemon, use a water type Pokemon. I want to see that kind of evolve a bit. We'll see how that goes, but changes to the battle system are something I think is coming. I think that's why we weren't shown very much. I think that's why the UI was taken out, because there are some surprises left up their sleeve, and I think they want to have a few more moments throughout the year where they do some really cool stuff. Another one, Zach, that I'm really crossing my fingers for. Changes in the battle system for me are up there. It's like one of the most important things that I'm watching out for in this game now.
I hope so. That would be very, very nice. I have to say that my gut instinct says that the meat and potatoes of Pokemon stays the same, and it is the dressing and the flavors that change up. So while the world is seeing a big overhaul, and while the region seems to be very vast and different, and the art style even is something much more adult and much more anime-esque and much more drawn / realistic / proportion, I wonder if the core elements are going to maintain extreme similarity, but we'll have to wait and see. The third mystery is, we got 3 starters, but 1, what are their evolutions, and 2, how many Pokemon are we in fact getting? We have seen Generations add as many as 156 Pokemon. We've seen Generations add as few as 72. So how many new guys do we need? When you have 800 plus Pokemon, new seems potentially like overkill. But given that we had Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, we had Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, I would be so down for a new big batch. And I would love to see it take shape that the new ones are the main focus of what you encounter. I'd love for Galar to, at least early on, be all new. I think that is my favorite way to handle a new generation, and I hope that the evolutions, honestly, are killer. I want them to really dominate, because as cutesy as Sobble is, I feel like this set of starters, they look a little similar to me.
Yeah. There's jokes about that already on Twitter that I really appreciate how similar they all look. And I think they look similar because the evolutions are going to be so different from each other. And that's something I'm excited for. I don't want to see the evolutions right now, but so I'm glad that that's a mystery that's remaining. You know, but I want to touch on the sheer number of Pokemon. They've had some time since we had a last full generation, Zach. You mentioned a couple other Pokemon games that were released that were, you know, either a enhanced version of another one or a complete remake. So they've had a lot of time. I want to see more than 100 of them. And I've made no secret that I haven't played a full mainline Pokemon game in quite a bit. So for me, there's going to be a ton of new Pokemon no matter what. Yeah. I'm super hyped for that. But I want to see at least 100 new ones just because they've had so long. That seems to be the sentiment on Twitter and Reddit and the whole Pokeverse online, that people are saying, dude, there better be a whole bunch of new Pokemon because we've been waiting a very long time for this.
36 months since Sun and Moon, Gabe. 36 months it will be from Gen 7 to Gen 8. It's a lot of time. Even if they make 3 Pokemon a month, we're still looking at 108. So I think the odds of us getting to the triple-digit mark are pretty high. All right, let's move to number 4. And this mystery, honestly, to me, is probably the most urgent. Is the game actually more open? Is there differences in the structure of how you approach and interact with the world? Or is it all window dressing? We see a vast improvement of size and scope within the world, within the Galar region. But how does that play out when you're actually experiencing the game? We've seen people highlight that, hey, the camera still seems fixed. We've seen trainers still appear on paths, and while there does seem to be more open freedom, is it all a mirage?
I don't know, Zach. I don't want it to be a mirage.
Hey, let's leave Sobble as the only thing that's invisible. Let's hope that the actual open structure is real and not just something that is hiding beneath this pretty visage. I really want it to have just, if that is where they're going to focus their energy, and if that is where they're going to place their quote evolution, right? If that is going to be the step up for Sword and Shield, go all the way. It's a beautiful looking place. The art style is very nice. Let us do things that we're not accustomed to doing. And it still seems like it's gyms, becoming the champion, random battles, similar structure for all of those mechanics. So let us go a little bit wild in terms of how we approach the world.
All right, in the trailer, you see that one area where you have those like hieroglyphics, or not hieroglyphics, like crop circles actually, in the background. Like you can't like go back there. The camera's still fixed. You're still, at least it looks like on this trailer. This is why it's a mystery. We don't really know. It still looks like you're gonna kind of be beholden to, you know, the path that you're supposed to go on, and that's like a little unfortunate. But I hope that there is some differences. I do see people complaining like, hey, it's not cool that it's still like fixed camera. They wanted something a little bit more open like you're mentioning, but maybe there are some parts like that. We just don't know.
Yeah, the paths definitely look wider, and I hope that there are just I'm not expecting this to go full-on Breath of the Wild or anything, but just maybe some more freedom, maybe some more exploration, and maybe some new things to do within the world that encourage you to get a little bit, get your hands and your feet a little more dirty with the Galar region. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, I'm dirty now. I need to be cleaned.
Typical. You need to get Sobble to squirt you off.
Sobble.
Wash it down. Wash him down. Okay. Number 5 is, what is the lore like? Who are the enemies? And what is going on with all of this alien-type imagery? We see crop circles, as Gabe mentioned. There are a lot of carvings and etchings. There's even a mini Stonehenge seen in one of the opening shots of the trailer. And what does all of this hold?
Zach, I mentioned hieroglyphics because I got slightly confused, because I'm going to show the image here. To me, that looks like an unknown symbol on one of the entrances to what looks like the mountain here. I don't know what's going on. Hieroglyphics, crop circles. Is there like alien Pokemon, Zach? Is that a thing?
I don't know. It's interesting because you do see these symbols pop up in a lot of different shots. It's not a one-off thing. There are these markings, and at first blush I was like, oh, maybe it's just marking like, hey, this is the type of area it is, or this is, you know, a gym region, because it looks like one pops up right before you enter a gym. But I don't think that's what it is. I think that there is something very mysterious going on in this world, and it's shown in multiple different fashions, as we mentioned, with the crop circles, with the big stones, and I wonder if there is going to be a very, whether it's alien or whether it's otherworldly. Obviously, we've seen things get real kooky with Ultra Beasts and whatnot, so the sky's the limit for where they can go. But I'm super curious to find out who the team in charge of the evil deeds is this time around, or if there even is a team, how they decide to upgrade or change the story. And I think finding out if there is a different plot progression, that'll be interesting on its own. But then, yeah, what is going on with all of these markings? What's going on with the crop circles? Why is there a mini Stonehenge?
Yeah, that's what makes this region so interesting to me. The fact that there are all these things that we just have no idea about, and clearly something's going on. They know how rabid the fans are, so I think they're planting these things here on purpose. And I do think it's going to tie into the narrative a bit, so we'll see how that goes.
I hope so. And given how beautiful the game does look, and given some more of the pulled back perspectives, if you do go to crazy locations or teleport into something truly foreign, that could be a sight to behold, especially seeing how lovely those gems and caves look like down in the mines. All right, our 6th and final mystery for the day is, what were they referencing when they said there would be more from the Pokemon Company in 2019? Is that just the fact that there's going to be more presentations and reveals? Is that they have more to tie into the old titles? Is there something waiting for Let's Go, or maybe just Pokemon Go? Or are there really more games besides Sword and Shield? Something else for mobile, a mystery dungeon title, the revitalization of Pokemon Snap?
Stadium is where I want, Zach. I want to go to Stadium with so many Pokemon, all the freaking Pokemon there is. Dude, oh my god!
You think it's too much to have walking animations? Now you want them to do full-on Pokemon Stadium realizations?
Oh, that would be crazy. It would be very crazy, dude. Hey, the world of Galar is beautiful, man. A Pokemon Snap and Galar.
Yeah, I really would love something of that sort. Obviously, a brand new title that exists on Switch in some capacity would be great. And we saw them mess around with an eShop only free-to-play game in Pokemon Quest last year. So could they do something similar? Could they bring back some sort of, I don't think it's ready for another remake, but could they bring back like a Pokemon Snap as just like a digital download type title that would sort of go against what Nintendo has done with the Virtual Console? But I don't know what they could have been referencing. It sure sounded like bigger plans beyond just, hey, we have, a little extra guy for Let's Go. So maybe there is DLC in the works for that game. They just added the demo to the eShop in recent weeks. I don't know. This one is the most mysterious of all, and it could be absolutely nothing. It could just be their way of saying we've got more planned for the year and it's Pokemon Day and we want to get hyped. Could end up just being nothing, but we'll have to wait and see. Those are our 6 big mysteries from today's big Pokemon reveal. Let us know in the comments down below which one you're most excited to find out the answer for. And if you've already solved one, whether it's, will we see any Pokemon out there in the world? Will there be any small or big changes to the battle system? What are the evolutions like, and how many Pokemon in Gen 8? Is the world truly more open and structurally different, or is it all just window dressing? Are there alien Pokemon? What's going on with the crop circles? And what the heck do they mean by more Pokemon in 2019? Give us your take in the comments down below, everybody. In the meantime, have a fantastic day. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video and are pumped for Pokemon. For myself and Gabe, thanks again. SwitchForce, out.